Hello and welcome back to Space Engineers! In today's video, I'll once again take a look at one of your designs that you recommended me on mod.io. And for today we are looking at another hydrogen-based mining ship, which is simply called the Dragon Miner, which is this lovely thing over here. So this was the design that I was linked to, but I found a second version, a version 2.2, which is what I'm currently standing on, which is just a straight up upgrade of the one that was recommended me. So I'm going to go take a look at this one, because it does have a lot more going on with it. It's got survival kit, and it utilizes 2 autocannons to flush enemies with, whereas this one over here uses modded weapons, which do sort of stand out like a sore thumb when compared to the rest of the vehicle. Yes, they do look absolutely fantastic when they fire. We're just going to move all the way across to this, and we'll press F10 and go through the menu. And yes, that is a blank hole in the background from my previous video, and that's how we're going to end this video, because I did forget in that one to actually drive a ship all the way into there, actually ride in the ship to its destruction. So that's how we're going to finish off this mine ship at the very end. But anyway, pressing F10, find this in the spawn menu, the Dragon Miner, and here it is, the blue one up here. It's 517 small blocks, using the Deck Block number 3 and Warfare 2 DLC packs. We see it uses the Star Citizen weapon mod, but they are not needed, so you can spawn it without it. You'll just get a scary message that you can ignore. Give this a thumbs up, move all the way down to here. So here is the version 2.2. It's 603 small blocks using the same DLC packs, but uses no mods. So we'll also give this one a thumbs up, move around towards the very front, have a quick look around the outside, test it out for a bit, drive it around, then like I said, we'll drive it all the way into a black hole. And my character can stay there for once, and this is what we get for the very front of the Dragon Miner. So right in the very middle, what we can see is our cab cockpit to drive this thing around. We're surrounded by a bunch of grey blocks, some light grey blocks, some dark grey blocks, with the dark grey blocks with a bit of hazard skin on top of it. We see a bunch of hydrogen thrusters, which is the only form of thrusters that appear on this ship, so it should be good for planets, and of course flying through space at high speeds. We can also see the green glow of our batteries give it a bit of extra power. Then moving all the way down to here, past these 2 spotlights, we then see our autocannons blast at enemies with. We're right down below here, putting on my light, we then revealed 2 more spotlights, and then a camera with a window in front, so we can precisely aim our guns, and of course line ourselves up to do some precise mining. We're going to move away from this, move around onto the sides. Here we go, past our little mining drills, which have been spaced away to allow us to drive all the way through an asteroid. Yes, there's a clear view of our battery right in the middle here. Past these dark grey steel blocks, we then see 3 gyroscopes, same on the opposite side, to make sure you've got plenty of control all the way over this. On the actual side itself, we then got even more hydrogen thrusters. We've got a spotlight, got cargo access, and then a conveyor that links across to our drills at the very front. Moving along towards the very back here, there we go. And at the very back of this thing, what we got are 2 large hydrogen thrusters, and a bunch of small ones which do give us one hell of a lot of speed, which is very much needed on the mining ship, because once you're all full up, you're going to be very heavy, and may need that speed to escape an enemy. Yes, there's our connector to dock this thing up, moving slightly down, there we go, then moving all the way up, looking down this thing. We see on that small hydrogen thruster right in the middle there, a bunch of covered conveyors that go all the way along the middle. Then we've got 4 seats for your passengers to come along with you on your adventure, so if you ever got stuck in an asteroid, or you somehow got yourself really wedged in there like you completely Austin did, you then deploy them out with their little hand drills, and we'll help you get free. Anyway, moving across there, there's our ore detector in the middle. We've got 2 parachute hatches which are very much needed if you do overestimate the weight of this vehicle when coming down to a planet with high gravity. Then we can see some more hydrogen thrusters. There's the top of our cab cockpit. Then along the middle there's the top of our drills. And there's our little guns just sticking out the very front. Move all the way down underneath this thing. Then we come all the way down. There we go. Got another connector to dock this thing up. Then the one hell of a lot of small hydrogen thrusters, which will be very much needed on a planet. Make sure you don't have to use those parachutes, and well, hopefully you can land safely down onto the ground. Yes, there's a magnetic place to actually clamp this thing down if you need to use it. Then all the way towards the back there. There we go, more hydrogen thrusters. The more fantastic use of our dark grey hazard skin blocks. And there's our thrusters and connectors and the back. And then for a very brief look at the blue one right next to it, so come around towards the very front here, it's largely the same as what we just saw, but instead of having the autocannons, we then got 4 of these Star Citizen weapons, which I will show you very quickly, so grab and hold my character, then coming all the way over to that one, wherever it's gone, there it is, popping into the seat, putting the free camera back over there, and actually getting a better look at these guns, just going to angle it like so. There was a press number 3, and there we go, they're very well animated, very satisfying, very chunky with their sounds, and they shoot out a bunch of red lasers, so we go look at it like so. And there they go, very nice stuff. Like I said at the very start of this video, they do stick out like a sore thumb when compared to the rest of the vehicle. Free camera once again, in fact we're already in the free camera, just move around on the side here. So yes, instead of having our exposed gyroscopes like on the previous grey vehicle right behind us, we are completely covered up We see all the way down to here, we then got some traditional landing legs instead of magnetic plates. And over there, we've got a spotlight and parachute hatch on the side. Round towards the front back here. There we go. We've got slightly less hydrogen thrusters to push us around, but we still got our connector. Moving all the way up, looking down. Instead of having 4 seats, we then got 2. There's our ore detector, 2 more parachute hatches. Then all the way across towards our cab cockpit, they've got 2 more parachute hatches. And there's our guns at the very front. Coming all the way down underneath this thing, there we go. So there's our connector, there's our landing legs. We still got one hell of a lot of hydrogen thrusters to keep us off the ground. And towards the back there we go. So yes, like I said, the version 2.2 is just a straight up upgrade in every which way. I'd recommend downloading this one over the other one. Anyway, with my character, hopping out of this one, coming all the way across and getting inside, now it's time to go through the controls. So bring up the HUD, tab number 1, these are our main controls, where number 1's going to be to use our drills, but left mouse is to, well, drill up all the resources, and right mouse to make a very big hole. Number 2 is then to toggle on and off your guns, so much like the lasers we just saw on the blue ship, we press them, they'll automatically shoot all of our autocannons. Turn that off, press number 3, we now precisely aim where we're going, and because weapon core is enabled in this world, I can move the camera around, which is very nice stuff. I do wish that was part of the base game, because it is so useful to be able to get a good view all the way around, instead of having to have a static view, just plant your cameras all the way around your ship. You don't just look all the way down, look all the way up, it's just a super handy thing to have from a singular camera. Anyway, number 9 is to turn on and off your gyroscopes. Over to tab number 2, coming out of this camera, but they've got number 1, number 2, with nothing going on with them, so I'm not too sure what they're meant to be. But number 4, number 5 for your connectors to lock and unlock them, and to turn them on and off. Number 6 then for your hydrogen engines, turn them on and off. Number 7 then for your batteries to auto recharge. Number 8 is for your hydrogen thrusters all around the ship, apart from the 2 big ones at the back. So turning that off, there we go. We can move forwards, but we can't slow down. We're simply going to a cruise until we turn them back on, then come to a stop. There is something flashing down there. I believe that might be a space pirate or maybe an ally. Bring up the HUD. It looks like it is an ally. It's a mining transport. Very fitting for this video. Anyway, hiding all that, hiding that. Number 9 is for your hydrogen tanks to stockpile on and off. Over to tab number 3, we've got nothing else. Check out all the other tabs. Nothing else on them. So it's time to drive this thing around, see how it handles while it's empty. They'll go to an asteroid, fill up. Like I said, we'll go drive it over to the black hole and blow up that way. So moving forwards, this is what we get. And well, we should be expected from all those thrusters with some fantastic speed. Coming to a stop, it feels roughly the same, although a little bit slower, but luckily we do have plenty of gyroscopes on here, so we can do almost instantaneous 180 to basically stop ourselves in our tracks. Doing that one more time, moving forwards, 180, and there we are. Moving left, and moving right, we've got some fantastic speed in that. Look at all those thrusters light up there, absolute glorious stuff. And it's also a nice change compared to a lot of ships which do sort of skip out on the left and right speeds. It's not always needed, but for a mining ship, I do always think it is a very handy thing to have. Moving down, there we go, some nice speed with that. And moving up should be the fastest thing out of everything. Yes, it is. Look at that speed shoot all the way up. And there we are, coming to a stop. We're just going to rotate this all the way around. There we go. Now it's time to do a gyroscope test. So moving it around. And yes, as you saw there, there's very, very little weight on this. There's a tiny hint of weight in here, so it's not too floaty compared to small ships I have showcased in the past, but it is extremely responsive and should do very well once it's all full up and heavy with resources. But speaking of resources, pressing I coming to here and actually checking what we've got on this, so filtering to storage, as you see we've got a cab cockpit, we've got connectors, and all the way down to here we've got medium cargo containers, and all the way down to the bottom there's your parachute hatches, and of course we've got passage benches, which we can put a few med kits in there if you want to do that. Yes, that is that, we've got a couple of medium cargo containers, which is all you need for a small mining ship to get itself going. So what we're going to do now is come all the way up to an asteroid, which I believe is going to be this one in the distance. We're going to mine up all the resources, then head over to the black hole. Just dropping it all the way down, there we are, spinning it all the way around. Now it's time to drive all the way up to this. Turning around so we actually get the sun onto it, into the camera, here we go. We've got plenty of stopping speed, we don't need to worry too much about going too fast up against this thing. But here we are, back in third person view, activating the drills. And off we go. Now we're just going to keep going forwards and forwards and forwards. And there we are. Apart from this little gap in the middle, which does seem a bit risky, if we play it slow, it does look like we can go all the way through, like I said, but you do not want to go too fast because it's going to be very easy to actually damage the front of this vehicle. Luckily, your cockpit is built slightly further back into the ship, so if you do happen to go too fast, it's actually start damaging the middle part of this vehicle, but it's going to take quite some time to actually get to your cockpit, or disable the entire ship. Yes, we're going to keep going and going and going. In third person view, if I can, there we are. So that's it going all the way through. since you can just keep going through to the opposite side of the asteroid if that's what you want to do. Very handy if you've got some very deep resources that you need to try and get into. So if you're having to build a piston system and extending it all the way out, this thing will do perfectly well in survival mode. It looks like we have fully filled up all of our cargo containers, so reversing out of this, here we go, being very careful not to bump any of the rocks on the top there. That's the hole we made, putting on the lights, there we are. I'm pressing I once again, coming to here and hiding the empty, and this is what we collected. So in each of our medium cargo containers, we can see we've collected 9.12k of stone, which is very nice stuff. And of course, we've got a few in our connectors, which is always jolly good stuff to have as a small bonus. But yes, how does the handle while it's all full up? So as you can see, it's quite a stark difference compared to when we were empty, but it's still got some very respectable speed while moving forwards. Come to a stop, we are a bit slow, but luckily we still have plenty of gyroscope controls to do 180 and stop ourselves a lot quicker. It's been very well set up all around the ship with all the thruster distribution. There should be no issues with crashing into anything or just well going too fast and missing your intended target. Moving left, moving right gets very nice speed with that. Moving down, a little bit slower. Moving up should be perfectly fine. Yes, it is. So actually do very well while on a planet. And then for gyroscope controls, move this thing around. It's a lot more meatier, much more heavier, but still it's very good to have that amount of control on a mining ship. But now it's time for the ending segment, so time for you to grab hold of the free camera. Where is that black hole? There it is, coming all the way over to it. Here we go, we want to drop ourselves basically about over here. That should do quite nicely. In fact, we'll go a bit closer. There we are, dropping it all the way down into this. Here we go, we're now under 55 or 57 G's of gravity, and we're slowly being sucked straight into the middle. Let's actually test out the thrusters with this thing, so putting it like so, trying to boost away from here. This is not going to help it. We are now completely trapped in the gravitational field of the black hole, and we will just be boosted all the way towards it. Of course, we are limited by speed limits, so we're not going to be able to get into black hole anytime soon. I may need to speed up the free camera. Yes, that's what it looks like from a distance. We are slowly, very slowly being sucked all the way in there. There's no way for me to escape. Yes, with the free camera, once again, get a bit closer to the middle here. Here we go, that should do quite nicely. So dropping down like so. And here we are, going up against the black. We are now in 15,000 G's of gravity. That's absolutely insane. And we are 3,000 meters away from the actual surface, or the little plate that sits inside here, which is what will blow up the vehicle and end this video. So here we are in the first person view. We're 2,000 meters away, in fact, we're rapidly approaching at 1,500 meters away. But this is what it looks like in the first person view. With the camera looking around, it's just utter pitch black. We see the thrusters up there trying desperately to save this vehicle, but it's not going to help. 500 meters, 400, 300, 200, 100, and there we go. That was a lovely big crash, and there's a lovely big hole which we've created. But anyway, that is that for this video. That's that for the Dragon Miner. It's a little miner to use in your world. If you do want to have something very useful to use in survival mode, there'll be a link to it in the description below if you should download and play around yourself, as well as a link to the Skybox I'm currently using and the black hole that we just slammed straight into. And I'll be back with another video some point soon. Bye bye.